What do you think is necessary for the success of a fashion clothing brand? Exclusive design. Provocative advertising. Promotion with the help of movie stars. Yes, all of these are important. But they are not always sufficient for global success. Above all, there must be a unique value proposition. You need an original idea that was either completely unknown or not given much importance before. It was this, dare we say, revolutionary solution that the Spanish entrepreneur Amancio Ortega found for his brand Zara. But not right away. It all started much more prosaically. The founder of the Zara brand worked towards creating his own business for over 20 years. And then, after 15 years, he established a holding company that competed with the two largest global clothing retailers. Zara is a brand known all over the world. Its style is recognizable and never loses its appeal. Currently, the brand is part of the global Spanish company Inditex. This network also includes other popular brands like Pull & Bear, Stradivarius, Bershka, Massimo Dutti, and others. However, it all began with a store called Zara and the man who opened it. The history of the brand is associated with the name Amancio Ortega, a young man who, at the age of 12, made a firm decision to drop out of school to support his large family. Thanks to his charisma, perseverance, and unquestionably his business acumen, he managed to create one of the world's largest clothing store chains, becoming one of the most influential and wealthy individuals on the planet. Amancio Ortega's journey began in humble and impoverished conditions, born in a small town in Spain amid the challenges of his childhood and the Spanish Civil War. These early experiences taught him the value of money, instilled creativity, and the importance of always helping his family. The pivotal moment in his life was the teenager's decision to leave school to work, setting the foundation for his future successful business career. His encounter with Rosalia Mera, who would later become his wife and business partner, changed his destiny. For many years, Amancio worked in a small accessory store, where he learned the intricacies of purchasing goods and dealing with suppliers. He developed a deep understanding of clothing production and quickly identified weaknesses in the manufacturing process. He decided to leverage this experience for his own venture. In 1972, at the age of 37 and armed with 25 years of experience, a modest amount of savings, and a head full of ambitious ideas and goals, Amancio embarked on his journey with his wife and his brother Antonio. They decided to establish a small clothing manufacturing business and named it GOA Clothing. The last three letters, GOA, were the initials of Amancio's full name spelled in reverse. The brothers started a small business making underwear, robes, and nightshirts in their home, enlisting the help of women. They rented a basement space and continued to grow, reinvesting their profits into expanding production. Amancio brought in the best employees from the accessories store and focused on scaling the business. His risky decision to open his own store brought success, which contributed to further growth and brand recognition. Was success immediate, you might ask? Firstly, Amancio and his family had a wealth of experience and worked diligently. Secondly, they had another commercial secret. Amancio found the golden balance between price and quality, which is why the number of loyal Zara customers increased significantly year by year. Over time, the small workshop grew into a massive factory that effortlessly supplied products to over 30 flagship stores. However, let's go back for a moment to the opening of the first store because that's when the brand got its name. The name Zara came about through a series of coincidences. Amancio's family had planned to name the store Zorba, in honor of their favorite character and the movie Zorba the Greek. However, they were unable to obtain the rights to that name, and the molds for casting the letters were already made. So they had to come up with a new word. That word became Zara, which, in Persian, means gold. Amancio decided that the word was eloquent, easy to remember, and easy to pronounce. Everyone agreed that it would make a great name for a renowned brand. Amancio's entrepreneurial intuition paid off, his brand became unique, recognizable, and achieved global success. It was also when the first brand logo was created. It was a monochromatic wordmark, black letters on a white background. It featured a restrained, clean serif font with all uppercase letters, bold and well-balanced. The 2008 version was created to make the logo ideal for printed materials, digital media, labels, and internal tags. The style and mood of the logo remained the same, but the kerning increased, and the letters became wider and shorter. Overall, the redesign received favorable reviews for its craftsmanship, seriousness, and timelessness. Now you're seeing the controversial 2019 redesign. The monochromatic palette remains, but the font is completely different. It's unconventional, stretched, with the conical letters overlapping and intertwining at the bottom. The leg of the letter R is twisted and elongated. This logo was designed by Baron and Baron. Critics argue that it's not user-friendly and will look bad on labels. There are even predictions about the evolution of the logo. Those who approve of it say that the new logo has a more distinctive character, it's fresh and unconventional. It goes against the trend of minimalist logos, and that's not a bad thing either. The Zara brand became well known throughout Spain just 13 years after the successful debut of the first store. In December of the same year, 1988, the brand opened its first store in Portugal, a year later in New York, and another year later in Paris. The company employed many young and creative professionals who were passionate about their work and constantly aimed to surprise customers with novelties. Founder of the Zara brand, Amancio Ortega, continued to personally oversee all production. It was he who decided what clothing each Zara brand follower would wear in the new season. Production volumes were substantial, and under the then production scheme, it took up to 6 months to create a collection. This relatively slow pace posed risks for manufacturers and distributors as stores might not have time to sell the sewn but no longer fashionable clothing. Amancio Ortega was seeking ways to change the design scheme, trying to anticipate customer preferences and ensure a more rapid turnover. This is how the term fast fashion came about, signifying the brand's quick response to changing fashion trends. During that period, José María Castellano joined the company, a person who had a profound impact on the clothing industry and brought a clear organization to Zara's operations. Can you guess who he was? No, he wasn't a designer, a salesperson, or a clothing seamstress. José María Castellano was an information technology specialist. He developed a computerized distribution system and significantly reduced the time it took for a clothing design to go from development to production. Now, a new item could appear on store shelves within 15 days. Just over 2 weeks, and Zara creates new fashion items, manufactures them, and delivers them to stores in all countries. The turnover of goods is very fast, and this directly impacts the growth and development of the business. It was the incredible speed of product implementation that led Amancio to another decision, the creation of a company called Inditex. It was meant to take the popular Zara brand to an unreachable level. Inditex worked without intermediaries, it controlled material procurement, developed logistics, and even participated in design development. 15 years after the opening of the first Zara store, Ortega became the founder of a production and retail holding company that competed with major global clothing retailers such as the American Gap and Swedish H&M, Hennes and Mauritz. From the 1990s onwards, Inditex aimed to expand its target audience and began creating and acquiring new brands. The first edition was the youth brand Pull & Bear, founded in 1991. 4 years later, in 1995, Massimo Dutti joined the Inditex holding. Soon after, the popular clothing store Bershka was opened, which is now well known. But Inditex's achievements didn't stop there. By 2004, the number of stores under the holding exceeded 2,000. As you can see, only one original and, importantly, executed idea can bring wealth, fame, and respect. Of course, not everything in Zara's history was smooth. There were a couple of minor scandals, like the swastika on a bag and Teletubbies on a t-shirt. But the company satisfied all claims made against it and emerged from these situations with honor. It's almost funny to remember that there were 2 litigations in nearly 40 years of operation. In other respects, as sung in an old but not forgotten song, everything is good, everything is good. But this time, without irony and additional verses. Indeed, the history of the Zara brand, as well as the entire Inditex company, is truly inspiring for achieving great accomplishments. Even if you're a little over 30, lack formal education, don't have a wealthy father, but have the desire to improve the quality of life, remember Amancio Ortega at the beginning of his career. Set your goal, find an innovative idea, and you can confidently aim for a spot on the famous Forbes list. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.